Want to bring in attorney and contributing columnist at the Washington Post, George Conway. George, great to see you this morning. Look, please, let's just take a step back because this is so unusual. We haven't seen anything like this before. So when you heard that the FBI executed a search warrant at the home of the former president, what questions does it raise for you? What standards in your mind must have been met?
Well, obviously, they have to meet the basic standard of any search warrant. You have to show probable cause that someone, might not be Donald Trump or could be Donald Trump, committed a crime, and probable cause that there is evidence of that crime in the location being searched. And you have to particularize exactly what it is that you're looking for, and you have to put that all in an affidavit that a federal judge reviews and then makes a determination that there is sufficient cause to invade someone's privacy and to come into someone's home and to do this. That's one thing. But again, this is a former president, and the political consequences, the national consequences of going over your skis on this are just too huge for anything but the most significant evidence, I think, that would justify Merrick Garland, who is a cautious and a cautious person, to authorize this, and it had to be authorized by him personally. And so you have to ask, what is it about this particular circumstance that has led the Justice Department to this step? Obviously, they don't quite trust him because they obviously don't think that subpoenaing him or requesting documents from him will get them the answers they want. But what is it that they want? Well, it probably isn't just that he took some documents in a rush and packed them in 15 boxes and shipped them to Mar-a-Lago without focusing on what was in them. Okay, there's got to be something more. Maybe it's the nature of the materials, or it could be that he sent some of them back and represented that. I'm not just speculating here. I mean, you know, he's not the most honest person in the world and not the most meticulous in obeying laws and rules. Maybe he didn't send them all back, and they're suspicious that he did it. That he didn't send them all back. In which case, he might be potentially liable for making false statements through his lawyers to the National Archives. We don't know. Again, we don't know. We need to see what the FBI presented to this federal judge. It could be that some documents were destroyed. It could be something completely different. It could be that maybe there's some overlap between the materials he kept in January 6th, that's even possible, although there's no indication of that. So, but there is something here that made this quite more than just somebody mistakenly or accidentally or carelessly packing 15 boxes of materials and sending them to Mar-a-Lago. His excuse would be, hey, I'm President of the United States. I didn't focus on this. I was busy. But, hey, what he was busy at was launching a coup.
The narrative coming from his camp, coming from his son, Eric, is this is a continuation of the National Archive issue. Would there potentially be an interest in putting that narrative out there, George, if really it might be something different? And would they necessarily even know if it was something different?
They may not necessarily know, because the search warrant could be for all documents that were unlawfully retained pursuant in violation of the Presidential Records Act. And that could, basically everything he took from Mar-a-Lago. To Mar-a-Lago from the White House. And that could include January 6 materials. It may not. It just depends on what they think is there. And obviously, they have some basis to conclude that there's something interesting there. And they took out, apparently, boxes and boxes of materials, which suggests that maybe he did not return all the materials, or maybe there is something in there that indicates that some nefarious intent was he had some nefarious intent in bringing the documents to Mar-a-Lago. We just don't know at this point.
If there were a classified document of some kind there that the former president had improperly kept, manipulated, destroyed, whatever, how and why would it be in the national interest for the FBI to get its hands on that?
Well, I mean, that's if there are classified documents there, or evidence that classified documents have been mishandled or mistreated or destroyed, that's a very serious thing. People have gone to jail for that, and people have gotten convicted of that. And if he did it with a large number of documents, and I think there's been some reporting that even the list of classified documents is so long, is long, and it's the documents, some of the documents may have been so sensitive that they couldn't actually describe the document without making a list that was classified. There could be some very serious materials with some serious national security interests in jeopardy because of Donald Trump's carelessness, or worse.
Why should this be viewed, or should it not be viewed, as these DOJ probes encircling or getting tighter around Donald Trump?
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, the fact that, I mean, they have crossed, I hate the metaphor because people are using it, it's getting overused, they crossed the Rubicon here. This is a very serious, it's unprecedented for a search to, I mean, not even San Clemente, Richard Nixon's house in San Clemente was searched by the FBI as far as I know. And so it's just a remarkable thing to see that the FBI and the Justice Department would take such a step. And the fact that a federal judge approved it shows that, hey, they've got something there. We just don't know what it is.
It sounds like you're saying this is not very Merrick Garland-y, for lack of a better word. This not right?
No, well, I mean, it is Merrick Garland-y in the following sense. He truly believes, as he has said repeatedly, that no one is above the law. And so this is an example of that. But it's also, it is not necessarily Merrick Garland-y in the fact that it's no matter what the predicate is, it's a bold step. So, he's not someone who does things rashly. So you have to tend to conclude that there is something there behind the curtain that would surprise us or shock us or something.
How seriously should Donald Trump be taking this, do you think, George?
I think any time the Federal Bureau of Investigation comes to your house early in the morning and knocks on the door and starts rummaging through your home with a list of things that it's specifically looking for, you should be worried.
You have heard, no doubt, since...
And I'd be worried if I was him.
Look, we keep saying that Donald Trump confirmed the execution of this warrant. He didn't confirm it. He announced it. Donald Trump is the one who got out in front of this and said, hey, the FBI was here searching. So in a way, he has tried to control this story from yesterday afternoon into evening. And part of that, we have seen Trump allies and a lot of Republicans say, hey, wait a second, this is a witch hunt. We've heard cries to defund the FBI, people saying this is what happens in third world countries, including sitting U.S. senators, Republican senators. What do you think of that criticism, George?
I mean, it's just absolutely disgraceful. I mean, these are the people who are complaining about people saying defund the police when the laws are being applied to people who don't hold political power and don't have billions of dollars. And yet now they want to defund the FBI on absolutely no basis at all because they don't actually know what the facts are. They have no idea what the facts are. It's simply that their fearless leader his conduct has been called into question. And even though we have every reason to distrust Donald Trump. We have every reason to believe that he is a pathological liar and somebody who bends the law, bends the truth, distorts the truth. They are basically saying that that law enforcement is engaging in some kind of a political attack. Well, the fact of the matter is, there's no reason to believe that, and there's no basis for them to assert that.
They're also saying, Donald Trump supporters, look at how Hillary Clinton was treated, right? And look at how Donald Trump was treated, making this apples to apples case as they see it. And they're saying that Donald Trump is being treated differently. How do you see it?
I think Hillary Clinton would beg to differ. I mean, she went through a very lengthy investigation of a year and a half. She testified on this actually cooperated with a lengthy, intrusive investigation of her conduct, and ultimately, some people believe it cost her the 2016 presidential election. So she didn't get exactly off scot-free, and that's on the one hand. On the other hand, we don't know where this is going to lead yet, and we don't know what the evidence is. This could may not lead necessarily to a conviction of some sort, or it might. We don't know what he did, and we don't know, we don't know how sensitive these documents were compared to the various emails that were on Secretary Clinton's private server. We just don't know any of that. And to prejudge it in that way is just intensely hypocritical, because these people are the same people who were saying, lock her up. And so if you were to apply the same standards here, they should be saying, lock him up.
George Conway, great to have you here helping us understand what we know and, frankly, what we don't know or still need to find out in this story, because there are so many questions out there. Thank you so much, George.